Hello everyone and welcome to another incredible tutorial from the Drawing Factory. This time you will learn how to draw Disgust from the Pixar movie Inside Out by Pixar Studios. Disgust is one of the 5 emotions controlling Riley Andersen's mind. She lives in her brain and works with the other emotions. For this tutorial I used the drawing software Sketchbook Pro, but you can use whichever software you are comfortable working with, or you can do it simply using pencil and paper. There's really nothing too fancy with using a drawing software, it's just a convenient way for me to draw on screen and record this tutorial for you. I've put on the screen an image where you can see where I started with my drawing and the reference that I used for this tutorial. As always, take a good look at the reference image and try to see if you can visually simplify it into easier shapes and forms. In this particular case, I decided that the whole character would fit into an elongated rectangle, which I have subsequently divided into 3 parts. So the first thing you should be doing is to draw a rectangle and dividing it into 3 sections, one containing the head of the character, the second containing the chest, and the last containing the gown and legs. Now very carefully draw the head mass, establish the position of the chest area, and draw the skirt and legs. Sketch everything quickly at this stage and make sure to get the proportions correctly, as well as the spatial relationship between these elements. Now it's time to add the arms crossed on her chest. Look carefully at the reference image. Notice how the right elbow almost touches the corner of the construction lines, while the left elbow lies almost along the midline of the drawing. It's very important that you notice all these little elements and relationships between parts in order to position the arms correctly. Time to sketch the hair of Disgust. There are 2 big masses here to draw, both starting in the upper right corner. Start from there and draw one mass flowing to the left and one flowing down. Again, use other elements of the drawing you have positioned before to position the hair correctly. For example, look at the distance between the tip of the hair and the left shoulder. Alright, now on a tough part. Drawing the face of Disgust. I wish I could tell you a simple way to nail it, but there isn't really, it's a process of trial and error. As usual, draw the midline of the face and then horizontal line as a reference to the height of the eyes, then dig in and try to draw all the face elements. In this case, I resorted to draw 2 additional lines, one above and one below the eyes, just to be sure I was positioning them correctly. Good luck with this part. Once you're happy with the face, it's time to add the iris and the pupils of the eyes. The key here is to draw perfect circles. Remember, the iris and pupils are perfect circles when looking at the camera, like in this case, so do not be fooled by your eyes and stick to it. Add in Disgust's full R and start cleaning your sketch a little bit. Now it's time to clean up and finalize the forms before moving on to coloring the drawing. Take a good look at your drawing now. Maybe take a few minutes off, because this is a good time to verify that you're happy with the results so far, how your drawing compares to the reference image. At this point I cleaned the drawing further, removing all unwanted lines. Added the folds on Disgust's skirt and refined her even more, readying her for coloring. The first thing to do when coloring with a drawing software is to create a new layer underneath the sketchwork and fill the various areas of the drawing with flat base colors. No shadowing at this stage, just plain flat color. Sounds easy enough, so I leave it to you. Now, unfortunately, while I was recording this tutorial, something went wrong and I lost the footage regarding the actual shadowing of the figure, so I will just describe it here for you, but the process is exactly the same as for adding the highlights and the lights. So after you've taken care of the flat base colors, you can start adding the shadows. So get yourself a soft airbrush tool with opacity set to a lowish, maybe around 20%, and start building up shadows on the figure. In this particular rendering, the light comes from the left of the character, so all the shadows are going to be on her right. So don't rush this step, take your time, and build the shadows slowly, adding layers over layers of a darker base color. When shadows are laid down, you can start laying down the light. The process is similar to the previous one, however, in this case you add a lighter version of the base color. Using a soft airbrush with low opacity, build the light areas slowly to create a smooth effect and to blend seamlessly with the color underneath. It's time now to really add the final touches and finish the rendering of this drawing. Here I went over the drawing and looked for areas that needed deeper shadows, for example, so I added an almost black shadow to the hair and legs. At the same time, I added even more light, again to the hair, because they are very shiny and because why not? Here I created a custom texture for the dress and covered the dress with it. I also added even more light to the left side of Disgust to increase the contrast between the light areas and dark ones. And now for the final touches. Draw the long eyelashes and add a little bit of pink to the cheeks of Disgust. She absolutely needs it to look at her best. I also added a little bit of texture to the hair and refined the nose and mouth before calling it a day. And there you have it, a glorious drawing of Disgust from the Pixar movie Inside Out. I really hope this tutorial helped you learn how to draw Disgust. How did your drawing turn out? Did you find it difficult? Easy? Let me know in the comment section below. For this week is all from me, and I'll see you all next week with another drawing tutorial. Thank you for watching.